It was a sweltering April afternoon in a quiet suburb outside Savannah, Georgia. Evelyn Parker stepped out of a weathered corner store that had stood beside Highway 17 since before she was born. In her hand, she carried a plastic bag holding a bottle of peach tea and a tin of sugar-free mints. The southern heat clung to her skin like a wool blanket, thick and unrelenting. Her arthritic knees throbbed with every step. She wore a faded floral dress, low beige walking shoes, and a wide-brimmed straw hat that had seen better days. Her walker, fitted with 2 worn tennis balls on the back legs, scraped gently across the cracked pavement. All Evelyn wanted was to get home and sit on her porch, watching the spring flowers bloom in her garden. But peace wasn't what was waiting for her that afternoon. Parked just outside the store were 3 gleaming motorcycles, their chrome glinting like knives under the southern sun. 3 men leaned against the wall beside the door, cigarettes in hand, laughing far too loud for the sleepy town. On the back of their leather vests was a skull logo with the words, "Blood Howlers," a local biker gang with a reputation as dirty as the highways they ruled. Evelyn had seen them when she entered the store. But she'd dealt with far worse men during her decades working overseas. She kept her head down and tried to pass quietly. But the biggest of the bunch, a burly man with a messy red beard, barked out a laugh. "Look out, it's the walking antique. Someone forget to hang a museum tag on this one." The others howled with laughter. One mimicked the screech of her walker dragging over concrete. Evelyn didn't flinch. She didn't look back. Just tightened her grip on the plastic bag and adjusted her pace. Then Redbeard spoke again. "I swear she fought in the Civil War. Or maybe she survived the dinosaurs." Another round of laughter. Evelyn stopped. Slowly, deliberately, she turned to face them. Her eyes locked onto the leaders. "Excuse me," she said calmly. "What did you call me?" He smirked. "A relic. The world's moved on, Grandma. You should go home and watch your stories on TV." A younger biker gave a low whistle, expecting a show. But Evelyn didn't raise her voice. She didn't curse or threaten. She simply lowered her bag to her side, leaned slightly on her left leg, and said, "There's something you boys don't understand. I've lived long enough to see men like you come and go. Most of them didn't end well." Silence stretched out. Then Evelyn's voice dropped, soft as wind through pine needles. "Tell me, do you still go by Travis Mott? Or have you picked a new name?" The red-bearded man froze. His eyes sharpened instantly. "What the hell?" he muttered. October 3rd, 2001. An abandoned warehouse just outside Knoxville. Does that ring any bells? One of the other bikers pushed off the wall, standing straighter. "Who are you?" Travis asked, voice suddenly dry. "Just an old lady. With a very good memory. And friends who used to work in places where people like you hoped no one would ever look again." Travis's jaw tightened. His fingers twitched near his belt. Evelyn Sawit. She could read body language like others read headlines. His throat bobbed. Eyes narrowed. "How do you know my name?" "I don't need to shout or wave a badge. Men like you always give yourselves away, thinking you've buried the past. But memory, Travis, memory is a curse." His crew was uneasy now. The youngest one, barely in his 20s, took a step back. Travis barked, "Stay where you are." But Evelyn lifted a hand. "Let him go. You don't own someone just because they wear your colors." The boy didn't speak, but his eyes were wide, not afraid of her, but of what she knew. Evelyn turned her attention back to Travis. "That case in Knoxville? I was asked to consult from a distance. A missing girl." All they found was blood, a torn shirt, and tire tracks. No arrests. But one name kept coming up. Ridge. She stepped forward, slowly. 6 people were ever tied to the wolf insignia. 3 dead. 2 doing life. And one changed his name, ran south, and joined a biker gang. Travis swallowed hard. "You can't know that. The files were sealed. But your face wasn't. And my memory isn't sealed." Noah laughed now. The whole street had gone quiet. Then, from a distance, the wail of a police siren grew louder. A patrol car pulled up. Out stepped the county sheriff, a lean man with a silver beard and sharp, watchful eyes. "Something going on here?" he asked. Travis pointed furiously. "She's accusing me of crazy stuff."
"She has got no proof."
The sheriff looked at Evelyn. She spoke plainly.
"Check the name. Travis Mott, alias Ridge. Knoxville, Tennessee. October 2001.
The sheriff paused, then nodded. He returned to his cruiser, opened the laptop, and began typing. 3 minutes later he returned, his face like stone. "We need to have a conversation, Travis."
"No. You've got no right."
"Those files are sealed." "Doesn't matter anymore," the sheriff said. "We've got a witness, a video, and a former intelligence officer who just named you in front of half the block." Travis started to protest, but no one backed him up. Not even his crew. He looked around, and realized the gang didn't have his back anymore. He hung his head and climbed into the back of the squad car. No applause followed. No jeers. Just silence, the kind that settles over a closed coffin. Evelyn Parker stood still, serene, as though she had just finished buying groceries. That evening, the town buzzed with the story. Cell phone footage of the encounter went viral. People whispered about Miss Evelyn, the silver-haired woman with a walker, who had unmasked a fugitive with nothing but memory and calm resolve. But Evelyn wasn't in town anymore. She sat on her back porch, sipping peach tea from a glass jar, watching her flowers bloom in the golden light. Her walker rested neatly beside her chair. They called her a hero. But Evelyn knew one thing. The past doesn't die. Not as long as someone remembers it.